A key part of Mayor Keith Wilson's homelessness strategy has been to open a significant number of new overnight-only shelter beds. At the Oregonian, we've been digging into what's happening at those shelters and have found out most recently that training of shelter employees has been especially lax. There's a kind of training called bloodborne pathogen training. It's to make sure that anybody who needs to clean up blood, feces, use needles, has training to make sure that they're doing that safely. They're not spreading pathogens around and they're not contracting them themselves. That is considered by a lot of shelter providers that we talk to be just at like the absolute most basic level of training that should be required. And that training wasn't happening at the shelter. We have indications that there were other trainings that were also considered typical usually and that weren't taking place, but the one that we were able to prove beyond a doubt was bloodborne pathogen training, and that's because of public records with the state that showed for certainty that Salvation Army was not offering those trainings to their largely temporary shelter worker staff. One issue with our reporting on these kinds of things is that it's very hard as press to get in behind the scenes and see what's happening at the shelters. This story was brought to me by people who had been in the shelters, and they helped direct me to the right records so that I could figure out what was going on. If you are somebody who has stayed or worked in an overnight only shelter run by the city, or indeed any shelter in the area or the county, please consider being in touch. My contact info is at the bottom, and maybe it's right here on the screen too. Please be in touch and let me know what's happening and what else you think we at the Oregonian should be covering. Thank you.